Our topic is how do metals and non-metals react. Firstly, we need to understand that why is there a reaction between a metal and a non-metal. The reason is electrons. Some element want to give their electrons, others want to gain some electrons. So who is gaining, who is giving, why is all this happening, we are going to study now. Now the cause of this chemical reaction or combination between a metal and a non-metal is the tendency of the atoms to complete the octet or duplet in its outermost shell. If it is the K shell, so it will complete duplet, otherwise octet, to achieve stable electronic configuration. Means neither metals nor non-metals are satisfied with their electronic configuration. They want some stability in themselves. That's why they either lose electrons or gain electrons to attain stable electronic configuration like a noble gas. Now, I have compared here two elements, aluminium, which is a metal, and sulfur, which is a non-metals. Let us try to see why are they accepting or losing electrons with the help of schematic diagrams. Aluminium, as we all know, atomic number is 13. So I've drawn a schematic diagram representing K, L, M shells, and this is the center, that is the nucleus. Now with the K shell, it is having 2 electrons. In the L shell, it is filled with 8 electrons. While the M shell has only 3 electrons. Now what will happen? Aluminium wants stability in the outermost shell, that is M. Now it either wants 8 electrons in the outermost shell or 0. या तो वो चाहता है कि उसके पास 8 आ जाए या फिर वो चाहता है कि ये 3 हट जाए. तो it is very easy for aluminium to lose 3 electrons than to gain some, 5 electrons. Okay, so what it does, it loses its 3 electrons to some non-metal and becomes aluminium ion. It becomes cation. Whenever any metal loses electrons, we call it as cation. So aluminium, since it will lose 3 electrons, so how do we represent it? We write 3 plus. Why this plus sign is there? Because it has lost its electrons, which were negatively charged particles. Initially, it was having 13 electrons and 13 protons. That was negative and positive charges were balanced in aluminium. Now what has happened? Instead of 13, it is only having 10 electrons, while protons are still 13. So it is having 3 positive extra charges now after loss of 3 electrons. That's why it is represented by Al3 raised to the power plus. Similarly, let's talk about the non-metal sulfur. Its electronic configuration is 286. So let's just quickly draw it. Now, what is happening in this case? Now, sulfur also wants to achieve octet in the outermost shell. So, it wants to complete 8 electrons in the M shell, but it is having 6. So, it has two options, either to lose 6 or to gain 2. So, it is very difficult to lose so many electrons. So, it will gain 2 electrons. Automatically, it will achieve its octet. If it will gain 2 electrons, now what is happening in sulfur? Earlier, electrons and protons were equal. That is 16 electrons, 16 protons. So, no positive or negative charges were indicated over the sulfur sign. Now, what is happening? It has gained 2 electrons. So, now electrons number come to 18, whereas protons still remain 16. Now, what is happening in sulfur? Negative elements are being accepted from someone else. So, it has taken 2 electrons from someone else. So, it will become sulfur 2 minus. Because now the negative charge is more than the positive charge. So this is how we say that metals lose electrons to form cation, whereas non-metals gain electrons to form anion. And this is the only reason why they are reacting with each other, so that they can exchange their electrons and become stable. We're going to see how metals and non-metals react. They combine in two different ways. First one is the transfer of electrons from one atom to another. Now how this is happening? We have seen metals lose electrons, non-metals gain electrons. Which types of electrons are being exchanged? The valent electrons. The valence electrons are being exchanged. So this type of bond that is formed between two atoms is called electrovalent bond or ionic bond. Second method is by sharing of electrons. Now what happens here? Two atoms contribute equal number of electrons, and then those equal number of electrons get shared by both of them. Such types of bonds are called as covalent bonds because they are sharing electrons, not exactly giving or accepting their electrons. Next is, let us see how ionic compound sodium chloride is formed. In class 10th, for this chapter, we are just dealing with electrovalent bonds. So, I have taken example of sodium chloride to explain how this ionic bonding is happening between the two. Sodium electronic configuration is 281, having atomic number 11. For chloride, it is 17 and electronic configuration is 287. So we can see here sodium wants to lose this one electron so that this M shell is eliminated and it has achieved octet in its outermost L shell. Similarly, chlorine, it wants to gain one electron to achieve 8 here, octet here, and then it would become 288 and stable as a noble gas. Now what happens? Sodium, I am writing only the valence electrons and I am representing the valence electrons of sodium by a dot, whereas for chlorine I am representing it by the cross. So it is having one electron in its outermost shell, so I am writing it in, this is the electron dot representation. I am writing a dot above it. Now chlorine has 7 electrons. I have represented it by 7 crosses. What happens when they combine? Sodium give its 1 electron to chlorine and itself it becomes sodium ion. How the electron dot structure would now be? 7 electrons of chlorine, now 8 one added from sodium. So now this has become sodium chloride ion, and this type of bond that is existing between the two is called an ionic bond or electrovalent bond. If we see their schematic diagrams, we can see in the KLM shells it has 2, then 8, and then only 1 valence electrons in its outermost shell. If I talk of chlorine atom, it is having 2, 8 and 7. Now when this extra electron of sodium moves to the chlorine atom, sodium becomes a sodium ion because it has now lost an electron and it is now having only 2 shells that are completely filled. Having K shell having 2 and M shell having 8 electrons, so it has achieved octet in its outermost shell. Similarly, what will happen to chlorine atom? Now chlorine atom also has its all 3 shells completely filled. And from chlorine atom, it will become chlorine ion. So this diagram represents sodium chloride ion. is not an atom because here exchange of ion is taking place. How are these atoms stable? These are stable because sodium has also achieved octet, chlorine has also achieved octet. So now they have equal number of charges but with opposite signs. Sodium has become Na plus, chlorine has become Cl minus. So what will happen? This oppositely charged ions are held together by strong electrostatic forces of attraction. Therefore, ionic bonds are quite strong in itself.